I don't know what she's about. Do you really
I've had
know
her on
what she's
a couple
about?
Of times. I've had her on the
Really?
show
What's
a
she
couple of
talk
times.
about? What's she talk
She was
about?
part of
What's her thing?
She was part of the secret space program that went to Mars.
Is that what she said? But she never went,
Yeah.
right? She was claiming that with.
No. She went.
Now, who was that other guy? What'd she
Andrew
say?
Bashaga?
Yeah, her and Andrew and Bashago, and what was that other guy? I had him on my show.
Barry
I was with
Santos or whatever, Barack Obama, Barry Mendez.
Bernard Mendez, yeah, Bernard.
Bernard Mendez,
he did on the other level. But they were all really in the future, but that's where the reality really is. This down here is like being inside a bubble, a matrix in the 3D form. So it's very hard to understand mind over matter, right? But we're not mind and we're not matter, but we're using both to, what would you say it, communicate information while we're down here? Because we're really particles and waves.
I don't mind if you don't matter.
Exactly. And I don't matter if you don't mind. So that's just the way it works.
Yeah,
I don't mind if you don't matter. So it takes two people, and we all mirror each other. That's a true story. True story. My kids say that a lot. So different people get together and get people together to do certain things and bring events together. And what about J.J. Hertog? Didn't he write The Keys of Enoch? Yeah, he did, didn't he? So he was an author. I saw The Keys of Enoch and a mandala, or is it the same? Mandela? I know Nelson Mandela and the Mandela effect versus a mandala on the wall or Indian or like a circle. But J.J. Hertog, Dr. Ph.D., and his wife Desiree Hertog, she's also a PhD, but they wrote books, The Keys of Enoch, End of Suffering with Russell Targ. Physicist Russell Targ, Mind Dynamics with Dr. Elizabeth Rauscher, and Ken has his own book. We need to make you a personality. I like your picture with your wife and your tux. We could use that. You look so professional.
I can buy one for $1.98 on Google.
A copy of your book?
No,
Which
a personality.
One? Well, you can buy one of your books. How much did that book? We put one up there for Allied Command Org, so that's what we're going to be about, helping people. So Dr. Johnston, I don't know where he's at, but he's a ghost. A retired aerospace engineer, U.S. Marine. Ken, I'm going to have you come back and listen to this if I can ever get you to listen to it in a radio show. Our illustrious leader. What does he call himself with us? What's he call himself? He wants to be the 5-star Allied Commander. Supreme Commander. No, I'm the Supreme Commander. And you were... he's the commander in charge. He wanted to be the 5-star, but folks, he's the solar commander, and I'm the cosmos commander. No, I'm the cosmos ambassador, right? He's solar ambassador. I'm cosmos ambassador.
Yeah, I believe so.
And you said you were the. What were you? What's your command? What do you command?
I said you can call me the Rear Admiral because I'm in the background.
Yeah, Rear Admiral. You're the Rear Admiral in our command, in our universe. I wonder what people will think at these expos, New Living Expo, Human Origins Conference. Now, he did that with Richard Smith and his wife over in New Mexico.
And that's a subject that I'm really interested in is our origins.
Yeah, for real, off planet. But when you come down here, we're just stardust. That's as close as we can get. Everything's stardust down here. Well, what do you think of? We came from somewhere out there, beneath the pale moonlight. Well, that's okay. So we
panspermia.
Panspermia so far is the best gig.
Yeah, life's going to happen if the conditions are right, period, regardless of where it's at.
Well, but what causes those? You think it's a reaction
it's just basic. You can call it chemical, but I don't think it is. I believe there's a grand designer, but it's still it doesn't matter if he designed the first organism or the last one. It's still a designed organism.
Well, we know we're immortals. There's not very many people that don't believe. Maybe there's most of the guys that say they're bona fide, they're not into religion or politics or government or anything. What they call agnostics. They don't believe anything. They don't. Belief systems are great, but you need a hope, and you need hope. That's the only thing that saved me sometimes, are the beings, because you have to live pretty good. So I don't know. We're not going to say we know everything, but we're going to be about self-awareness. What's our bottom line?
I don't believe we can know everything in a physical form.
Well, because I think we discovered what you said. You discovered the whole bottom was that our brain, we're not our brain and we're not our mind, and we know we're dealing with the near-death experience events, and we're dealing with the human origin events, and we're dealing with the New Living Expo events, and we're dealing with the UFO Association events, and ours is ACO Association for Ascension Center organization, and that's right now the only one I see. David Wilcock is the only one doing anything out there besides me, and I started it back in the beginning.
For all of these to actually, for all of these things to actually be able to happen, we have to be living in a multi-universe.
But we are. I mean, it's not like we're not.
Well, we know that, but most people won't even consider that thought.
Well, they're what Michio Kaku calls a level 0. But once you get to level 1...
That's his interpretation of... Yeah, that's his interpretation
level 1, 2, and 3.
of civilization. That doesn't make it so. That's just his opinion.
Right. Yeah, he's just giving it words like we are with our group, but it's nice to have somebody to field it back to you, but not be so closed-minded they're set in their belief system that they can't accept anything. I believe we're conscious agents. We're all an agent down here for some group of stuff. I don't think we're just one person. I don't think we're just one thing. It takes at least a left and a right, two opposing sides, because you question yourself.
We live in a dualistic. We live in a dualistic universe. That's all there is to it.
At least we've come to accept that, because everything's set up that way.
Yeah, everything is set up that way, all the way to the quantum level.
And that comes back from the original 7 laws. And one of the 7 laws that was in the oldest on the planet came back to what you just said, and that's gender, male and female gender. So what is that called? Because no matter where you want to, we are all boys and girls.
That's the yin and the yang.
If you have innie or outie, like your navel or your pee-pee, right? But, we all have a mother and father if we're biologicals in a biosuit, they call it, biosuit, biological container. So the containers, if you're a humanoid, you're shaped like a star, or you have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. And I guess that's why we made the 5 points. Do you think that has to do with anything? Or we just do it in metaphysics and esoterics? Or theology?
I mean, a lot of them things just started out with, hey, look what I drew. Isn't that cool looking?
Huh. Go back to pictographs in the caves when we had shadow and we stayed in the caves. I wonder if that's really true.
See? But if you look at the Tree of Life, that doesn't look anything like a man, but they superimpose a picture of a man on there.
Well, what about all our stories we tell? Their explanations aren't necessarily stories, and stories aren't necessarily explanations, but that's like your left side of your brain tries to explain everything, and your right side of the brain likes to tell the story and make it feel good with emotions. Wait, which side has your emotions? Do you know when you do? If you have a stroke, I know my stepfather had a stroke. 2 stepfathers. Mother was.
Your right side of the brain controls all your artistical abilities, your music and stuff like that, your creativity. And your left side of your brain controls your mundane stuff, like your language and that kind of stuff.
So we're really into neuroscience. So, we've got a lot of tracks we could cover when we have our conference. But by that time, by 2020, I don't know, everybody's going to have one in 2020 because it starts next decade.
I don't understand them having a UFO conference when they have 6 speakers on UFOs and not one of them agree with any of the other ones.
Well, you don't have to in peer review groups.
Yeah, but, who are you supposed to believe, though? You can't believe all 6 of them because 5 of them are wrong.
Well, because each person has a different conscious state of belief system or research or history or how they program themselves or what makes them
that doesn't make them
be who they are.
Them right, though.
Well, okay, the big thing started with Corey Goode and Richard Dolan were the 2 main, and who was sitting in between that guy I met. What was his name? He wore the funky hair. I met him in San Diego and Dayton, too.
Talking about the alien guy?
No, he wasn't alien, but he drew like my husband did. He was like me. We got chose when we were young, 15. He could draw boats and stuff. He had a real good memory. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that liked to talk about when he was a young boy and went out and watched the big thing over in California shooting the UFO, all the cannons and stuff at the UFO. William Tompkins, Bill Tompkins. Well, when they say funny hair, it's William Tompkins because that's how I remembered him. But they said they wanted me to meet Bill, and I had to go shake his hand and stuff. But it didn't make any sense to me because they had me come and drive a big truck all the way over to a hangar and deliver some. They made me go pick up and swap. All of a sudden, somebody makes a call in the government or something, because I was driving a big truck. I took that U.S. Treasury and I drove space pieces and aircraft pieces all over. But they had me go meet him in Dayton, Ohio, one of those space spooky things, Dayton, Ohio, where they kept a lot of the UFO stuff. And then they had me meet him in San Diego near the, San Diego. The reason I remembered I was working for not Comic-Con, Satcom. I get Comic-Con and Satcom mixed up. I was training people on satellite.
There.
Not in my mind. Satcom. Let's see. Wait, if I was doing satellite com, isn't there a stadium in San Diego? What's the name of that? MediaCom? Comic-Con? Well, I don't know. But I was working on, I trained people. If it wasn't with that Roth thing, Raytheon over the horizon thing, then it was teaching people how to use computers in their trucks, right? Because we were tracking our computers. Because with big corporations, back in our early 90s, we would throw a computer chip in with our loads, like Pepsi, all the big ones, so they wouldn't get stolen and stuff, right? Anyway, but we had a satellite, what do we call those? Satcom, satellite command. We called the little computers we'd put in the trucks Satcoms.
GPS?
That's what it was. Yeah, they had on top. They had a little round thing. Yeah, we could pick them up. Way before Google, before they trained people on Google, we knew that was coming. But in big business, you know what's coming. But in the government, I don't understand how we were dumb as a rock. I mean, we were dumb as crap. I was telling them, why don't we have this or that? But they didn't have it. In my reality, we already had computers when I got there. I didn't understand that. When I got to Hawaii and they didn't have that stuff, and then I would ask people, why why can't I talk to my company? I already knew about the internet, but the people that I was dealing with didn't. What was that about?